This week on Hermitcraft.
And I want to take this moment to say, I'm not a weeb.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and we're definitely weebs. At least one of us has made anime music videos about Minecraft. Link in the description and the iCards. Please give it a watch. If it does well, he'll make another one fairly soon. As for Hermitcraft, we've got exciting news for you as the multiverse apparently exists, Grian is back, and the court of King Rendog has now grown to include people of the utmost bizarre occupations. And we will be talking all of these things in more detail, as well as showing you this picture of Kiralis in a dunce hat. Let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
That hat, your eyes, perfect match. It was made for you.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
As the caves of Decked Out grow deeper, Tango Tech decides it's time for his wardrobe to adjust accordingly.
Of the Dungeon Master. Notice my icy enchanted robes and my ominous dark hood with glowing icy eyes.
The new look rocks a Dark Master robe, a mysterious hood, and frosted tips that may actually be frosted. Overall, one of the more exciting shiny variants. More deets on how the deck will stack come out, while Tango is making more of the dungeon Ravager friendly.
If you remember from Decked Out 1, anytime a Ravager goes in the water, they're just stupid. They just sit there for minutes on end trying to swim out and everything's...
Turns out the Frost Embers, the special currency of the event, will be able to buy not just more cards to augment a new run with, but also victory tomes that will add up to the participants' final score. Whoever has the most victory points at the end of the phase wins, and yes, Decked Out 2 is set to have several phases. This of course makes Frost Embers incredibly important for player progression, and it's good they'll get extra for completing randomized and unlockable quests while in the depths. If they can complete them, of course, as even just navigating the place is going to be a challenge. Again, it's Ravager friendly now.
Your quest is bestowed upon you and stuff, rah. So again, sticking with the same theme, risk versus reward. If you want to go that little extra mile and get another quest on top of your artifact, this is where you come in.
An even friendlier place is under Good Times with Scar's jurisdiction. Scar continues his efforts to build the Wonder Park, and this week he reaches the Circle Square at another end, which is a word combo that makes sense, and no, I don't mean a rectangle with rounded corners. Scar does a clever trick with the upside-down waterlogged slabs, which allows him to straight up use coral fans as flowery multicolored grass on the floor without them drying out. The place will look even nicer once Zombie Cleo delivers on the armor stand commission Scar leaves for her. Just don't tell Pearlescent Moon he paid for one, because he definitely still owes her a whole lot of diamonds, which Scar totally plans to pay up eventually and is actively working towards. Friends, the words secret stripping area are uttered in the video. Then again, so were the words buying 20,000 moss blocks from B-dubs.
Oh, what a relief. It turns out I'm worse at math than I thought. It's actually around 12,000 moss blocks, so we don't need 20. I might go broke here.
Well, maybe the hot guy position at the royal court pays well, because that's what Scar submitted an audition tape for. It is certainly cinematic and seems to have high enough IMDb rating, so here's hoping he can get to his responsibilities as soon as possible, whatever they may be. It is entirely not clear.
And I thought that Red needs a Hawkeye at his side, so I summoned all of my cheesy 80s action movie knowledge to create the most over-the-top movie trailer.
A different approach to the audition is taken by Zombie Cleo, where instead of mailing a VHS to the castle, she invites Ren over and has a normal conversation. Surprisingly normal, actually.
Are you
As you do.
interested in dying?
Usually, yeah.
Cleo seems to be eyeballing for something in between the accounting department and human resources. Quite fitting, since as a Gorgon, she can actually turn humans into resources.
Like, the sooner I get in as in a position of your council, you've got B-dubs to help. I've noticed, and I understand that
Maybe a
B-dubs is
beautiful
a job
crescent.
as well. Here's a job.
Oh, I mean, like herding cats.
Yes, he is the largest of the cats.
As a sign of loyalty, she follows up the interview by investigating the quest hub of the Crown and completing several assignments herself. Even the one where a netherite block is sacrificed for the king, despite needing that good metal for her own gear. One royal audition still hasn't made it past the interview phase, and that's mostly because Iskall decided to take a summer holiday.
Now, I do realize that some of you may be thinking, but Iskall, you didn't take time off though because you posted Vault Hunters episodes.
In a video that's not technically a Hermitcraft episode, he returns to the server to explain he's been trying to have a real life for a couple of months, and any time he could scrape together and fill with Minecraft had been spent upgrading and producing content for Vault Hunters. The only reason we're mentioning this video in the recap is that A, he's back, and B, he gets jump scared by Skulk Shriekers, which is frankly too hilarious not to mention.
Oh! Stop! Stop! There's actually something here. Oh, this is a prank!
The primary quest Azuma Void focuses on, by comparison, is staying the top contributor at the Arch of Champions. So much so even his admin duties come into play. There's a quest to lag bust for 10 minutes, so X takes the time to hunt down and clear out some zombies who are holding items, refuse to despawn, and asking people where the 0-0 coordinate is.
Anyways, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 minutes, just flying around like this and seeing how many we can get rid of. Sometimes this is like a game of Where's Wally? Aha, found ya.
The entity count only goes down a little on average though, seeing how Azuma then takes up the Green Frog Head quest and maybe overbreeds them a little bit. A similar fate hits the Allays. With their sanctuary now complete and finished, any hermit can stop by and duplicate a useful ghost for their own purposes. Now, why he would build a giant pixel art Allay to advertise it if the server still isn't on the version that actually allows for Allay duplication? Well, it turns out they've found a server mod that does recreate this mechanic, meaning it's prime time for locking ghost children in cauldrons to cut down on the hopper amounts. I love Minecraft, it's the worst game if you explain exactly what happens in it. Anyway, the king wants an angel kid head for a quest.
So, I'm going to activate this, take a step back, and let's see if we get a head out of this. Well, none of them died. Dang it.
A harrowing escape, truly. Azuma's luck with mobs continues to stun when Zedaf calls him up and demands he replaces the cow they killed with the arrow compression portal a couple of weeks ago. Trouble is, the animal is supposed to be dangling upside down on a rope, so it's a little more tricky than your usual spit roast.
Tell everyone what you did.
Cow.
You killed a cow, yes. Good. You did.
Killed a cow.
And it's not good.
It's not gonna,
that would be terrible if it was... Look! Oh my goodness! Yes! Azuma! I am so impressed.
This new cow dies almost immediately.
Okay, here
Give
goes.
you the action shot.
Ready, ha. And...
Oh, it killed it!
Oh no!
So now it's like, let's speedrun it?
Caught.
I headbutted.
The changes at Zed's hole-in-the-ground circle are rapid and drastic, though the gradient redecorating and the rotating cast of cows are but a B-plot in his goal of absorbing 100 XP levels as quickly as humanly possible. As per usual with him, the idea phase branches off into examining each possible type of an XP sphere and figuring out how to spawn the right ones in bulk. The answer turns out to be furnaces, packing stacks upon stacks of well-cooked cactus.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna need like 13 shulker boxes of lava buckets? Really? Really? Really?
7 hours of smelting later, a TNT goes off, the blocks blow up, and over 100 levels rush up his every orifice in 1.2 seconds. The cup celebrating it is titled I XP'd myself, and congratulations, I think this joke was the actual point of the whole video. It's a self-own which can only be surpassed by owning yourself, which B-Dubs now can, along with all his past selves, thanks to the effort that's gone into populating his head shop with player heads from his current and previous Minecraft skins. He even sets up a machine which fills a shulker box with a randomized assortment, allowing him to sell them in booster packs based on rarity, and we sure hope Vintage Beef is taking notes.
And that was, officially, my most perfect Redstone with B-Dub segment ever. Oh yes, it's a system that's Azuma made.
Moving at lightning speed, which is more than you can say for his new horse, B-Dubs begins to mold his next business venture, a coffee shop which can turn your grounds, your literal grounds, into a steaming cup of mud. It turns dirt into mud. But since mud can be turned into clay, clay can be turned into terracotta, and the nearest Badlands biome is a decent trek away, maybe people will decide to support their local barista.
I had some pictures that I thought were really cool, and we kind of modeled off of some reference. So, a Studio Ghibli house.
Still, not everyone is happy with the governing body of Hermitcraft, although Grian appears to be. He just seems to want to be difficult.
We are not, under any circumstances, going to oppose the king. That doesn't mean that we can't be a terrible, terrible citizen.
Following up on the promise of actively not resisting the current leader, he nevertheless decides to be a worse citizen and try to hunt down whatever holes in the questing system he can exploit without actively breaking the rules. Thus, the quest to place diamond blocks at his base is moved to the urgent pile, and also there is the urgent pile now. Grian started it behind Ren's back.
So, what if I prioritize my fake quests by not hiding them down here, but by placing them upstairs where everyone can see them?
Not helping with this idea is the new Grumbot, who found his way through the rift onto the current season, and we're calling him New Grumbot since this is not the Grumbot of old. Instead, this is a parallel universe version of the robot from a world where his efforts were indeed successful, and Mumbo did in fact become a mayor back in Season 7. That probably explains the extra features behind him. Well, not literally behind, he's got no backside yet. The Copper Grumbot is not only able to answer whatever question is asked, it is also equipped with an additional content machine. When asked to, the robot will dispense 3 sets of values: a hermit's name, an item name, and a verb. People are free to use the resulting combinations as inspiration for their videos and also to fill in Mad Libs prompts.
So we've got fishing rod, Exuma, educate. So I have to educate Exuma with a fishing rod or about fishing rods, and the great thing is you can interpret this in any way you want.
Which coincidentally is also how the Hermitcraft recap is written: Mumbo Jumbo Vault Surrender. Another shocking development is Mumbo Jumbo surrendering his vault to Grian whole, just so it doesn't have to sit there waiting for him to get back on Hermitcraft, or maybe as a joke because it is now Grian's own responsibility to keep Grian outside of Grian's Mumbo's vault. And finally there's Doc M, who spent long enough around his pet warden now to give it a name and let it out for a stroll around the perimeter. Even if it doesn't take care of the slimes, it's got to run around and let out all that energy somehow.
Well, Slime, the fun times are over here. Ooh! You got him.
At least someone's watching the place while Doc gets back to his latest creation, diving into the archives of the technical Minecraft community, and with some azalea farming innovations from Tuno2 Name, he rigs up a tree farm that relies on azalea growth mechanics, his existing moss bone meal farm, and some pretty wild circuitry to generate infinite oak wood. It also creates a bunch of moss carpet and azalea shrubs as a byproduct, but the whole point for Doc is to set up a self-refueling charcoal smelter and have infinite barbecue for life. Maybe some of that will be used to feed the warden. It seems like he's getting hangry.
Oh, you're in for a fun time, Zombert. Dang, that punch looked epic.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixelriffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like on this video while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.